Are you rolling already?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm not going to say it. Now let me close the door.
Okay, close the door.
She's recording, I see it. Okay.
Alright, so we're going to put the hemorrhage back in SimMom. We've used the hemorrhage that she comes with, and it just doesn't really give us near enough hemorrhage. So we have an alternate hemorrhage that we use, and we fill a 1,000 milliliter bag under pressure with simulated blood. We take the IV tubing, cut the lure lock off the end, tie that off real good, and what we're going to do is we're going to pass that blood through the IV tube, through this lure lock into the port on SimMom's uterus. So that will give us a high flow of hemorrhage for the scenario. So we can have her bleed up to 1 liter of fluid in one scenario, and that gives the caregivers a chance to take care of a patient that has that profuse, life-threatening bleeding. And that was weird. Okay.
Phil, what is the green connector for?
That's for the fundus. We fill that with air, and then the student can feel the boggy fundus or a firm fundus, depending upon what we set the mannequin for. So we can set that aside for now. What we have to do is we have to pass this tubing through her back and into her abdominal cavity before we hook it up. So we're going to set her uterus aside. And we're going to sit her up. You want to pass it through? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to sit her up.
Okay.
Ciao.
Oops. Not supposed to do that.
Nope.
All right.
Okay, that's a lure lock.
We'll figure it out. Okay. So, you want to pass that through?
Through her.
And I'll grab it on the other side.
You got it?
Okay, not yet. Yep, I got it. Okay. So now we're going to lay her back. We'll fix the lure lock in just a moment. So that's that same tube that goes to that IV bag, and we're going to put that under pressure.
Under pressure.
So we have to put her parts in. Put her uterus in and her fundus. In order to do that, we have to take out this retainer ring. We'll use that retainer ring to hold the uterus in place.
It's upside down.
No, that's right.
Okay.
Alright, so we put our uterus in, we make sure our pins are lined up, make sure none of them are pinched.
That feels good. Check again.
Okay, then we put our ring on, and we can start attaching or putting screws in place. I'm actually going to leave this one out for now because it's a little too hard to work with.
Okay. We'll leave it here?
Yeah, you can just leave it in there. It'll be fine. Okay, that's secure. Doesn't have to be very tight. Just finger tight is fine. Then we can hook up the hemorrhage to the lure lock. And we'll just leave that in that cavity. Put the cover over the cavity. Put the spring in place. And then we can, before we do that, we do need to hook up the fundus. And that goes to the green labeled lure lock there. And it's a good idea to raise her up, make sure she's flat when you're doing this, but we're this far in, so we'll just continue on this way. We'll probably have to work our script down a little bit.
We take the thing off. That will helpful. Would be helpful. Okay.
Oh, turn the compressor off. We'll see how that affects the audio. Maybe way too loud for anything. You should always raise your work up to your level so that you don't break your back bending over things. Okay, the last step is to put the belly in place. And of course, go ahead and snap those in.
Just like that, right?
This one, I'm not sure if it really goes with this.
No.
These actually go through here.
Yeah, supposed to, right?
Or there's the ones that buckle up here go there.
Oh, I see.
So you got a little space there.
Is there?
Sure.
Why not?
Never really understood what the purpose of those were. Maybe before we do an official video, we should understand the purpose of those.
Then connect this down, which we never use.
And snap her belly in place. She is ready to have a hemorrhage. And of course we control this from the simulation space with the pressure valve and the valve on the IV tubing itself.
Going there.
We'll have to figure out what would be a good 360 3D position for the camera, because I think between her legs probably would not be the appropriate place to put the camera.
Yeah, we want to keep it PG.
Yeah.
Well, PG-13 at least.
Alright, so once you've got your pressure on the hemorrhage, you can just release the
Yeah, I'm gonna put that.
hemorrhage, and you can see it's dry right now. And we can allow that hemorrhage to start, and very quickly we'll see that fill up.
Oh,
You
yep,
can
it's coming.
even begin to hear that, which I understand is common when a woman is having a hemorrhage after a birth. Sometimes you can actually hear the dripping, and that tips people off to the hemorrhage.
I think it's fine. We test it.
So that didn't take long. Let's see if that worked. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off.
So-
That was just a short period of time. So let's take a look and see if there was any blood that came through.
Glove up, Phil.
Oh, I should have, yeah. Rule number 1. Always glove up. It's going to be a messy ride. Rule number 2. Double tap.
Double tap. Are you ready? Surprise!
Yeah, let me soak it in so we can see how much actually came through. Yeah, so that was just a short period of time, and we got a pretty decent amount of hemorrhage there. And if that doesn't tip off the caregivers to a hemorrhage, then we need to
We're in
have
real
a
trouble.
little more, a little more education. But no, they do very well when it comes to the hemorrhage. So we're pleased about that. So she is all ready for her postpartum hemorrhage, which will be occurring on Monday.
Absolutely. Well, just to prevent any leakage in the weekend. Something there.
All right.
Yep. Something
Good.
good, buddy. It make my mind ease something.
Well, I think that was a pretty good first step in the video.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can experiment with some different positions, because maybe that's not the right point. Maybe
Right.
instead of right there, it should have been right there.
This angle here.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll
Well,
see.
no, because you were showing the connectors,
Right.
so they need to see it.
Also, I had the table really down low when it should have been up a little higher. I think that would have been better, closer to the camera.
And you crop it.
I think
okay.
that would have been better.
You're gonna stop it.
All right, you ready?
I am ready. Say bye-bye to the camera. Bye-bye.